Hey everybody, Bryce here. Today we're going to go through how to design a chair in a 3D design software. And the software that I've got pulled up is SolidWorks, which is one of my favorites. It's one that you may or may not use, but a lot of these ideas translate to something that you can look at in a variety of different types of software. So the first thing we're going to do if designing a chair is we're going to make a sketch. So I need to think about it. The simplest version of a chair that I can think of, it would be just a stool. So I'm going to set this here. And that's just a piece of sketch that I've drawn. And then the easiest way in a lot of software to make something the size you want is to do this smart dimension feature over here. So I clicked that and I clicked on a side, and you can see now it looks like it's trying to measure how long that size is. So we just plop this in here, and it'll let me modify the length of that side. So I want it to be, if I'm going to do like a stool, let's do 16 inches wide, and then you can see it's sort of scaled the other side to fit. I can click on this one, and let's make this also 16 inches long, so 16 inches deep, and you can see it changed how it looks a little bit. Our sketch is now just a square, which is totally fine. For a simple stool, we'll just do a square stool for right now. And then I can go and extrude this particular shape. So that's my sketch. I know that it's 16 by 16, and I can make it a certain height. You can see here that SolidWorks does a nice job of trying to tell me the height as I go, just with this graphical interface. And there's a number that's changing over there on the left side of the screen as I play around with this. So I can do that, or I can set this up to be 24 inches tall. And if I do that, now I have an extrusion that is 24 inches tall. So this could be a very, very simple stool that you could make. But there's a lot of other things that you could do to make it a slightly more complicated shape. Like I can take the bottom here, and let's see, there's a few ways to navigate around how these look. We can take a look and draw a sketch right on this bottom surface if we wanted. And I could do something that looks like, let's do a corner rectangle. We can start to draw on this shape and do subtraction and some other interesting things just to make it more useful or more interesting of a stool. So I can do the smart dimension in a lot of different ways and places. This is drawing a dimension sketch. Let's say I want the legs to be 2.5 inches wide, so I'll do 2.5 there, and I can do 2.5 here, 2.5, and now I've got 2.5 inch long rails on either side, and that seems like it'd be a cool stool. I'll do that, go back to my features, and now I want to do an extruded cut of this. SolidWorks has a little bit different procedure where they can choose an extruded cut sort of thing. Oh, I want to have it reconstruct. We're good here. Choose that sketch. And now I want to do an extruded cut. So I'll do that. I don't want it to go 24 inches. I think I want the top to be 2 inches tall. So I only want to cut in 22 inches. And that would leave me, well, maybe a little bit more. We'll just do 20 inches of leg. So now we've got a thing like this. We've got a basic stool. You'd see it wouldn't look like anything fancy, right? It's just a very basic thing that we're looking at. I could extend one side up if I felt like it and see what that would end up being. Oh boy, it looks like it froze a little bit. But, oh, we're coming back. From here, I've got the basics of what it would take to make just a chair or a stool. So that's an interesting look. It's not anything complicated. And if I wanted to, what I could do is take this whole piece and I could cut it from a set of plywood pieces that would just be this face right here. It's still frozen. But if I could cut this face out of plywood on the ShopBot, I could cut out a whole series of them and then sort of glue them or fasten them together, maybe nail them or screw them or something so that they stick together, or maybe put dowels through them. There's lots of ways to connect pieces, but I could cut out this shape right here and build it out of pieces on the ShopBot, or if I knew how to get wood that was the right thickness, I could just get some of that and fasten it in more traditional ways. But this is a way to make a dimension sketch in SolidWorks. And hopefully this helps with all of your other design problems. So that's it. We'll talk later.